Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. And to start this week off, I've got something I really want to share with you all. You know, a lot of you may not be fishermen that listen to this program. And I'll tell you, last week, my partner in everything else in life went fishing with me, Linda. And Linda had never caught a fish before. She'd never really been fishing. You can't swim, correct, Linda?
That's correct. I cannot swim.
Okay, now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to explain after I tell what we were doing. We went to Cayuga Lake because my great buddy Dave Swanson lives down there, and he had invited us down to try some special type of fishing and to do more research for our Up North NY project that we've done to try to share all the fishing experiences of this area with everybody. And so we went out to try to catch lake trout vertically jigging. Now, I'll set the stage here and then let Linda tell you what happened. Linda was given a rod, as I was, with a 1 ounce jig head. And on that jig head was a long swim bait with a plastic tail that David made. Of all different, we had different colors that we were trying. And so what our goal was, we get over 100 feet of water, roughly, and you could see that there were lake trout all over the bottom there. Dave's got graphs that show all this. And he said to Linda, well, tell everybody what he said to you.
He told me to, and you must remember, as someone who doesn't fish, doesn't know how to fish, all of these components were completely brand new, and I didn't necessarily understand everything. But he told me to flip the bail, let the lure drop to the water, watch it sink down, and then you can actually see the line unraveling from the spool of the reel. I'm sort of describing it because I don't know what these components are. Once it would hit the bottom, it would stop unraveling. That's when I would flip the bail back and I would start reeling. And there was a point at which I was getting instruction from several different people on the boat.
Including me.
Yeah, exactly. You were telling me, Linda, you can reel this faster. So I was reeling this lure faster.
And then you'd hear Dave yell to you, Linda, you're reeling too fast. You couldn't win.
What I came to realize was this was different. You have explained this to me, that this was different. Dave explained this is different. Because I don't know how to fish, and because I've never set the hook per se, apparently that was an advantage in that I didn't have to worry about setting the hook.
We told you not to.
Correct. And I don't know how to do it anyway.
It's when the fish hits, just start reeling, just put a little pressure and keep reeling.
Yes. And since I don't know how to set the hook, apparently I was okay, except it took a lot of time.
Over and over again. You let it down and reel up.
Yes.
Over and over for 2 hours.
Uh-huh. And what I came to realize was a rhythm, a special rhythm is helpful, and a consistent rhythm probably ensures that it matches what Dave was looking at on his graphs. In other words, he saw fish below the Lakers.
He'd yell out to you, Linda, you have one following you.
Exactly. And
nothing would happen.
and he was looking also at the schools of bait fish that they were feeding on. So apparently the exercise was to mimic the action of the bait fish so that it would entice the Lakers plural, to strike the lure. And there would be, once I understood what was going on, I began to realize these fish had been coming, and they were actually, as I was reeling, they were actually sort of nibbling or investigating this lure.
I don't think they were nibbling, honey, or you'd have felt something.
Well, when I finally had the moment of drama, baptism by fire, where I was suddenly
tell everybody what that moment of trauma was.
Well, a Laker grabbed the lure, and I started reeling. But I came to realize very quickly, my goodness, this is much more than I had anticipated. This was something huge at the end of this line, and I was trying to maintain the pressure so that the fish wouldn't get off, trying to reel. It took all of my strength. You'd almost have to be a weightlifter to build those upper muscles to be able to bring these fish in. They were that big. And it was fascinating to me, everything that you're learning in that moment. You're listening to what people are telling you to do. You're understanding that you have to do certain things. You're realizing that if you don't do some of those things, you will lose this prize fish. And to tell your audience, we didn't keep any of them. But the drama of bringing something like that in was significant and overpowering, and it really was the moment of truth where you bring in a fish that you've never caught anything before in your life, and now you're faced with this huge behemoth that is on the end of this lure, and of course you can't see it at that point. You're just still struggling with the reeling action to bring it up to the surface and not lose it. And the rod is bent over almost in half, and you just continue to reel it, hoping the line doesn't break and I don't lose it, and we can see what I've captured.
Well, what she captured was a lake trout that was over 32 inches long. It was really, really amazing. The first fish of your life. Now it's going to be hard to live up to that again. That really sets the benchmark.
Yes.
Way up there. So was it fun?
It was fun, and I came to realize I need to know more about how to fish so that I can be effective at it, because it really was it was a learning experience from the moment that I was starting to fish to the moment that we finished the trip.
Okay, Linda, you did great. I wanted people to hear what it was like for someone to catch their first fish of their life and to have it so big. This fish really was. And I wanted you to do it so badly. I was just saying, please, get a strike today. And eventually that fish hit. And it was an amazing big fish.
Yeah, it was exciting.
And I got to tell you, people that haven't experienced this, all of you listening, even you dyed-in-the-wool fishermen, I'll tell you what, a 32-inch lake trout caught in this manner is quite a formidable foe. That thing fought so hard. And the fish that I was able to catch, it was the same thing. It was an amazing struggle. One of the strikes I had almost pulled the rod right out of my hand. If people don't think lake trout are special, boy, they just don't know. But the whole point of this is to bring to you the experience from somebody that had never done it before, what that first fish was like. My first fish was a 5-inch sunfish or perch off my grandmother's dock. So it didn't measure up to what this is. This is amazing.
This was significant drama, but it was great fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was an experience I'll never forget, and hopefully Linda won't either.
I won't either.
Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.